Anyway, so let's get started here. I think recording now. Okay, and so we have 3 more weeks lectures, and I'll be out next week. Sorry, but I will record the video. Don't worry, I will not cancel the class anymore. So I will record the video, and I released the final project. You can take a look at the final project. I don't believe it's like super intensive. And also, if for example for lab 9, it's only one question. I've covered it in the lecture. So have you watched the video? Huh? Mm. Uh-huh. 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 Yeah, that one is from the last lecture. So I didn't cover that one because I didn't have time to finish all that. But in terms of collecting the drop-down list and then change the base map, we cover in the previous in the lecture on Monday. If you remember correctly, I show you how to take the drop-down list to the map, and then when you click that, you're going to change the base map. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's just like a composite box. But when you for the drop-down list, you just drop-down list to observe, and then you change it. So it's the same. So if you go back to the previous lecture, source code is the same, but you just put within the box. You can think about the box is a composite of widgets. Each individual widget still behave the same, just like it's independent. No? So basically, in the last lecture, I show you how to create a box. It's multiple widgets in there, but I didn't show you how to link the actions to the map. I only add the widget, but the widget itself is just a widget. Yes, yeah. But that one we already covered in the previous lecture, right? Yes. So basically, you can each individual one is separate. So today, I want to do the same thing. I'm not going to show you how to link everything, but I'm going to show you how you can add the widget. So like I said, every widget is an observe function, and then you can within the observe function you can design what you want to do. If you really struggle, I can. If you have time, I will show you at the end how you actually link everything together. If you can also learn, for example, from leaf map. So leaf map have all the stuff like how it actually be linked. So if you want, for example, you can go to the leaf map repo to show you here. Everything I cover in class is a small subset of leaf map. Everything that we have introduced so far. So for example, for the like changing the base map, it's actually somehow at the end is under the, I believe under the toolbar here. You can search it and you can figure out what kind of things that I did. So maybe Control F here, maybe base map. I believe it's under the base map GUI or something. Yeah. Maybe change base map, I believe. Yeah, change base map. Right? So this is the function in here. So you can think about it's the same thing, but mine is a little bit more complicated. But inside that box, you can think about I have this drop-down list, I have this button, and then I put them all together in the horizontal box. Make sense? And then from here, the on-click is for the button. When I close the button, I'm going to remove, for example, the widget. And this is where you actually, oh no, this one. It's actually this one. The on-click is when I click the drop-down list. And so you're going to get the drop-down list, and then use add the base map, and then if the drop-down list observe this on click. So it's basically the same thing, but what I show you probably is just this portion, the last lecture. But this portion is in the last lecture. So it's the same procedure. Are we clear? So for today, we want to do something very similar, but we're going to have a little bit more complicated one, so that when you can click the button, you can hide some widgets, you can show some widgets. So, and again, it's under the, you can download the example from my repo here. So under the examples, there should be a toolbar here. So basically, I'm going to show you how to create a toolbar. And if you scroll down, it looks like something like this. So when I click the button, it's going to show you something like that. And then you can click another button, you can show stuff. So what we're going to do is to create something like this. exactly just like div map. You click, you show up different buttons, and then you can have a lot of actions that you link to each button. And this is the source code. It looks complicated, but it's not that super complicated. So let's get to this notebook in here and then go through that block by block so that we understand what it is. So first you need to import the libraries, and then I'm going to, for you guys here, you can just import your own library, your own package. Okay, so any time you see this geohead, just change it to your own package. And then let's look at this one here. We run it, you see the output first. Then we can talk about that. So right now, take a look at this one here. It doesn't look good on VS Code because there's a background here, but this is a button here. See here, if I click, it's going to highlight it. It's going to be gray color if I unclick it. So this is basically just a button. Right now, it doesn't do anything yet. So basically, this one right now doesn't, there's no action anywhere here. And if you go back to, oh, right now I only have like the close button. So basically, I specify the widget width is the length of the total widget, and then the toggle widget is basically just like a button, but we hide. If it's just a regular button, is when you click, doesn't do it does something, but it's not going to change the color or anything. The toggle button, when you click, you're going to be able to see that basically it's being highlighted in here, right? And I also have a close toggle button. This one is not showing up yet. And so let me run another one. What it is? So run all the buttons. Now see this one, right? If I click it, see this? So basically I saw another button next to it. And the reason why I can do that because when I click something, I'm going to basically change the chosen. So basically, look at this one. So if I click the button, I'm going to show this two. And if this selected, basically I'm going to show two. Otherwise, I'm going to just show one. So basically hide the close button. So again, see this one more time, right? Right now it's not being selected yet. So if it change new, usually means when it's clicked, when it's selected. So right now, if I select this one, pay attention. See, I show you two. If I click again, hide it. So it's basically this is the one controls what's going to be sorting up, right? Click the if this selected, I'm going to show this toolbar button and also show you the close button. If this not selected, I'm going to just show the toolbar button. So what you're going to show here in the horizontal box or vertical box is based on this chosen. Chosen means what you want to put in that box. So allows you to add things or remove things interactively. So this is what the horizontal box or vertical box is being used for. Kidding? What do you mean bottom pole? The toolbar is this one on the left. This one is the toolbar button. This one is the close button. But you can, the entire one here, the toolbar is like a horizontal box here. So basically, a toolbar composed of the toolbar button and also the close. Probably you can change the name, make it intuitive. Yes, but not necessarily. I can close it right now. If you see, so basically, these two buttons have two functionality. You can when you click, you can hide it. If you want to close it, you can close it. So basically, allow the user, for example, to open something, and then if you don't like it, you can basically have the option. So let me go back one more time. This is might be a little bit confusing at the beginning, but you can think about you have the map. You want to add a button to the map, and if you don't have the close button, then the user has no way of closing it unless they write the m.controls, m.remove control or something. Otherwise, it will always be showing up in there. So our goal is to add something to the map, but also provide the option to allow the user to close it when they don't need it, or they can hide it when so that it doesn't take too much space. Make sense? So it'd be like this. We show you this one is about right. For leave map and m equal to leave map and on this one. Right. So if you see from my map right now here, I have these buttons, right? Right now, this one, I mean, when I hover my mouse, it's gonna pop up. It looks a little bit weird when on Visual Code, but it's fine in Jupyter Lab. It's kind of a little bit fresh, like not supposed to be. But I can also click it. It's going to be docked there, so it's not here. If I click this one again, here, right? It doesn't take too much space. And also for any of those, for example, I open this one, right? You should have some way that allow the user to close it. Otherwise, it's going to keep staying there. It's going to take space, right? So when I'm done with this one, I can close it. For example, I select a base map, and then, okay, I'm done. Then you close it. So what we are doing in this lecture is to have that button that allows you to close it and remove things from the map when you are done with that. Make sense? So this is what this one is about, right? So we create a button, and this is basically the total width is this one. The widget width is this one. So let me show you here. What do I mean for widget width? Is the entire toolbar. So it's from here to here. The width, 250 pixels. Is basically I have three columns of toolbars. Okay, and also the heading 0005 pixels, basically up, right, bottom, left. So that means I am going to have a padding 5 pixels to the left. So basically this one controls, the padding controls here. This one, the spacing, padding. Otherwise you'll be aligned to the left, very left. So you don't really have spacing. It looks a little bit ugly. But you can, if you don't want it, for example, I can change it to 0 and 0. Oops. We know what it looks like. Change to 0 here. So the padding controls this one. Up, right, bottom, left. So basically for any icon, any button, you can have what padding do you like. And after that, this one is just the toggle button, right? By default, it's not being selected, and the toolbar, and then the icon, and then layout. So you want how big it is, okay? 28 pixel by 28 pixel. And then also within that icon, you have the padding to the left. By default, 5 pixels. This is what it looks like. And the close button, let me run this one more time. And then right now I put that into the horizontal box. So right now, basically, just the button. It doesn't have anything else here. And after that, I can have this event. So if the button is clicked, it's selected, I'm going to have the children basically change it to 2 buttons. If it's not selected, I'm going to just show you 1 button. So essentially, when you click, it's going to show you the close button. If you unselect it, it's going to show just the button. So, and when I close the button here, look at this one. When I close it, you're going to close the toolbar button, close the close button, and also the toolbar close. So basically, you're going to remove everything. For example, look at this one. Now, look at this here. Right? So it's this kind of same thing that I did for DeepMap. So right now, for example, if I take a look at, if I click this one, it's going to execute this part in here, right? And if I unclick it, it's going to execute this one. That's why it removes. So basically, the children can remove things interactively. And if I click this one here, it's going to execute this portion because the close button observes these functions. Close. I'm going to close this one. I'm going to close this one. I'm also going to close the button. It's going to be gone. But also, you want to see here, because the padding, I do 0 padding, so you can see it's a little bit aligned to the left. So the icon is not exactly at the center. This is why earlier here I used 5 pixel to move it, have something on the left, so it moved a little bit to the right. So pay attention. So right now, if I run again, probably can't see it on, but if you now bit to the right, so the padding allows you to control what you want to have. And so right now, of course, we haven't really linked anything yet. It's just like a button, something like. Next one. This is just showing 2 buttons, but we can actually a grid, toolbar grid. So this one is using a widget called grid spec layout, and then you can specify how many rows, how many columns do you want. So for example, I want 2 rows, 2 columns, and also the widget with how many pixels. You can look at this one here, and something like this. So now I have 4 icons. Of course, right now this doesn't do anything yet, but the idea is to show you that you can create something just like leaf map, like what I did in the show you earlier example. Is same thing. So this is what I did. I believe you can change the width so that it doesn't show you this toolbar. The toolbar shows up when you the width is too narrow. So probably I change to maybe 65. You go away. Okay, so now it's gone. So and now I have these 4 buttons. So what this is doing is, okay, I'm going to create a grid of 4 icons, and then within there I'm going to place the button. So for each one, I'm going to row column, grid of I and J. So basically, when I create a grid of icons, they're going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 icons. So starting from the index, basically this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, 3. Or you can basically 0 and 0 will be the upper left corner, and then 0 and 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So what we're doing here is like you have a grid, and then so for each one, we are going to assign to create a button. Okay, so the button here will be description, doesn't have the text. The button style is the primary. Basically, you have the color blue, and then the icon is basically from we specify 4 icons in here. 0, 1, 2, 3. So you see here, the first one is open the folder button, and second one search for, and also the layout, same thing. Then we display this one. Oh, we put this one into the button, and then we create it. So show you one more time here. I'm not sure it makes sense. It's a little bit complicated, but so for example, if I click this one, I'm going to show you all these buttons. If I click again, it's going to hide it. So this is what this one is about essentially here. So when you select it, I'm going to have, you see the horizontal box inside can have another horizontal box. Horizontal box means you're going to by row and by row. So, and the first one is just this one, the close button and also the toolbar button. The second row is basically the second one in the horizontal box is this one. This is a composite. This grid composite. So now I have something I can click like this. Right. So at the end, you can add it as a control to the map. So if I just add it to the map, pay attention, it's going to look like this. So now my map has something like this. And this is exactly what leaf map built upon. You have this one. So when I hover my mouse, I click it. I'm going to show you something like this. And for each button, for example, I can change the base map. I can use the identifier. I can open web page or something like that. And if I don't need it, I can close it. Okay, it's gone. So allows you to add this interactive widget to make, but you need to decide what kind of things you want to do when you click each button. But the overall procedure here is that we add all this stuff, and then so that we can allow the user to interact map. So just like this. Does it make sense? So I think the key point here is the how to use the vertical box and also the horizontal box. So the horizontal box means it's going to add one horizontally. So just lay them out horizontally. Vertical means it's by row by row. Horizontal is by column. So you just think about what you want your toolbar to look like, what you want the interface to look like. It's going to be order by row or order by column, and then it's going to use just define whatever you like, and then use the doc chosen. Within it, you passing the list of widget you want to put inside the map. So with all this, next think about how do I integrate this one, for example, to the to your package so that user can just like create a map and then you already have these buttons automatically. And then you can think about what kind of action I want to do linked to this toolbar button. So next, let's go through the step again to show you how to make that work. Okay, so I'm going to open another window, and then I'm going to use the open the main module. Okay, right, and under here I can add another function. So for example, just go add toolbar, for example, and then we can just pull everything that we have created so far, pull it method. So here, df add maybe toolbar, for example, def. Okay, cool. Doesn't look good. This is not what it's supposed to be. But what we can do here is to, again, look at the same thing here. This is becomes a little bit more complicated now, so it certainly is not uh, as easy as it used to be. But what you can do is just simply go back to the beginning here, right? And you can start copying stuff. So I'm going to just come here, copy this, and come to my repo here. Okay, you need to indent this, okay, and just keep copying. Most of the things will be the same, except when you are displaying something, you don't want it. Okay, don't display it inside the package. Enter. Then at the toolbar event, so this one controls when the toolbar button is being clicked, what you want to do. Again, if you cannot follow, you can later just copy this source code from my repo and then just paste to your but I would recommend that you go through it step by step and make sure you understand what each line is doing, get an overall picture, and then if you cannot understand like any of the portion, just copy to ChatGPT, ask it to explain. It should be able to help you. We can make it more later, more customizable right now, like this. Okay, so 2 rows and 2 columns, and this will be the last portion. So anyway that you are displaying the widget, don't copy it because you're not displaying anything. You're just going to add that widget to the map. Okay, almost done. This will be step is to create the toolbar, the vertical box. And lastly, this. All right. The last step is to add this one to the map. Then we are done. Toolbar, hit control. So the last step is to add that one to the map. So save to add toolbar control. Control S. Done. We go for the widget. iPad widget import. Yeah, that's it. So let's quickly go through one more time, right? So this one is not being used, and delete it. So we're gonna create a button that when the user click, it's going to show the close button, and also going to show the 2x2 grid box. So this is the close button. I believe this one we don't need it. Okay, yeah, we can use it here right now. So the toolbar is basically the horizontal box, and then we don't need this portion. Move this one. Because later when we use the toolbar, it's going to be showing you not just the close button, but also the toolbar grid. Let's just define an empty horizontal box, and then you have the grid, and then assign an icon to each grid, and then you have the toolbar right now equals to basically the vertical box. Blah blah, and then everything goes. Okay, let's give you a try, see if it works. Close this one, come here, and start the kernel output. Then we can start trying it out. Okay, and then just create a map. Oops. All right. So right now there's nothing on here yet. So all I need to do is just simply come here, make dot add toolbar here, and okay, come here, click, close, close. All right. So now my map has this one. Of course, I haven't add anything to this yet because you need to write. You need to write it. Otherwise, it's not going. Yes. Huh? 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 Yeah, you can, but you probably because previously add a GUI first, but we can close it. But for this one, it's more like I can click this one to activate your space map GUI. This one, when I click it, it can show in the drop down list. And from the drop down list, then you can change the base map. Not yet. Right now, it has nothing to do with that. Right now, just showing you the icon. So when I click this one, I can show you something else. So it certainly is feasible. I think at the bottom here, I show you actually when I click, for example, doing something, you can show some. You can add another, for example, output widget, the bottom of the map, and then so when I click something, you will show you, for example, if I click somewhere on the map, you can pop up a drop down list or something, and you can want to. So you'll be like this. Let me show you. So here is right now for this icon here. It only shows you the icon, but it hasn't really done anything yet. So what you can do is to figure out what icon did the user click, and then you open another widget, add to the map. And from there, you can, for example, grab the user input, or you can change the base map GUI. Again, if you want, you can come back to show you the source code here. Right. So for example, on click, not this, the base map. Complicated, so I don't. So it took a look at this one here. So I can have basically define the function. So each one has a name. For example, this is the same thing. This grid box, button style, and it has blah blah, and also widget, icon, tips, onto. So this one basically decides what tool did the user click. So I have this grid box somewhere here on this one. So for right now, you have no idea which one did I click. Below you can see it, but in your source code, you need to figure out what did the user click. So if I come back to here, going up, right? So right now I have these 4 icons. So first you need to figure out when I click, which one did I click, and then you design an action to link to each click. So the action is somewhere here. This kind of like this function. So you're going to define, for example, a tool callback function, and then you're going to observe. Who is going to observe that? Where is it? Each one toolbox you're going to observe function. So basically, each button need to have an observe function, and then in your observe function, you're going to decide what kind of things you do. So let me show you, like just to show you like what did I click. For example, we come to here, and this is the toolbar. It's being clicked. So basically, what we need to do is to design the grid of children, I believe. One more time. Grid. Yeah, grid of children, and then each one is going to observe and print out the name. After add this one to the control, I can just df to df bar callback example change. So this function is to decide when you click something, I can link an action to this one. Let's just do it right now. For I don't do anything. I can just do a simple print. Twice click whatever. Then here will be the for in grid of children. Observe, no click. So what this one is doing is, because earlier with our button doesn't do anything yet. So now what I'm asking you to do is whenever you click something, you're going to show you like the bar is being clicked. Let's see if it works or not. Start the kernel and outputs. On this one. So open this one. Click it. It's no. Show you the zoom. We need to add the output with and an output with. So you can see the effect. When I click something, it's going to print out something, a map, so they can have an output. Go to output and go. So then I can move down a little bit. Output. So what this one is doing is I'm going to add output widget to the map, to the bottom right corner. So whenever I do something, it will show you what I'm doing. Hopefully it will be here. Okay, so let me on this one again. And oh, I'm missing the value option. What is missing? Value? Because the on click, if it's a button, then you don't need second parameter. For the observe one, you need the second parameter. Otherwise, no, basically observing value changes. Hopefully, now it's work. Start the corner. One is yeah. I don't know where this is, but it should not be. Like, if I print out the last one, you see here it's working, right? I added line here. What I'm trying to do is when I select this one, it should update the output widget. Not product change. Yeah, I don't think there's any. This is Oh, okay. Okay. Now I know. I think this one is the button, not a toggle button. So this is why in the mistake it should be on click rather than observe. I see. Hopefully, so there's only two ways to observe the function. If there's a button, then you use on click. Everything else you use. So I saw I was using the toggle button. For the toggle button, it's going to use the observe function. But if it is just a button, then you cannot use the. What we're going to do here is to go and try this one again. Now if I click this one, oops. Now we have some error. So button object is not uh, there's no change. Okay, one last time. This one. Okay, now it works. Yeah. Click. Before that, it's just showing you the reason that you have it's printed twice because whenever you click the button, you will get what's before and then also after. So it's going to basically execute twice. And if you just need once, you can do this. So right now, for example, clear the output and then the toolbar is being clicked. So here I can actually get the icon because basically we can retrieve the button. The button have the icon. Um, the icon is basically the name. So right now, for example, if I want to show you which button is clicked, I can have F, and so you click on change the. I don't think it's called the owner. It's no on, just the icon, name of the icon, because it's a button. So basically, it knows which button to use. The click output one last time. Now look at it. Open. Click. You click on the folder. Open. Click on the map. Click on. Oh. So now basically you figure out what did I click. So if you can do that, then you can inside your source code here. You can if the things icon equal to something, you do something else. Otherwise, you can do others. So for example, here I can say if things dot icon equal to example folder open, and then you can say with output, like you click on the folder and then you can open a file. Example. So what you're doing here is to treat different buttons differently. Right? So if you click this one, I'm gonna do something else. If the icon is a map, then you can say with cloud, you add a layer or something like that. Now if I Control S, so you don't have basically you can link different actions to different buttons. Right now, if I restart my kernel again, on this one, on this one, and since I'm only doing two, the other two icons will not do anything because I haven't linked any actions. Right now, if I click here, see, and open a file, you can add a layer. These two won't do anything because I haven't tell the program what to do. So you need to define your stuff in here. And then I can say else. And you can just clear the output and then you can do something else. Up to you what you want to do. So for every icon, for example, you can add a new, you can open up a new widget and then you can display, for example, if I click this widget, I open up the change base map GUI. So you add another widget, it will be similar to what this one. So inside source code, have something else. So basically, you can have a link of actions, hang actions together. But now this is the simplest way. Like I get something and it allows you to do things differently based on what I click, based on what the user click. Anyway, we're out of time, so it's a little bit debugging, but this is a normal process of doing the software development. Yeah, you have to figure things out and then see what kind of errors. But hopefully, after some debugging and testing, you can make it work. So you can use this one as a framework to add something to your map, and so that you can customize what action you. Questions? I know this one's a bit complicated, so take some time to digest, but think about the logical workflow. What you need to do, add a widget, design what you want, and then you link each one to some actions, and then add the final one to the map. Yes, you can add the default. So if you want it default, you basically within your mapping here, right? You go to the beginning here, and then lastly just doing in here, you'll be just self.add, for example, toolbar. Then the user don't need to do anything. So when they load the map, they're going to have this toolbar by default showing up, right? So for example, I already added. Now I can restart my kernel. I can run it again. And I don't need to edit the toolbar anymore. Because when the user run this one, when you create the map, it's going to add the toolbar by default. So you can customize. Of course, you don't want to add too many, otherwise it's too much. But right now, at least you see here, adding by default. Okay. Any other questions? No questions. I will see you next week.